But is there a way we can take it to one layer more of perfection? The answer is yes. I want to show you how to keep your world simpler. I'm going to use basic products and tools of detailing. So if you're a car owner, you're going to learn something. And here we have my van as we go in to the driver's compartment. Just pretend that I am talking to you as a beginner, but I'm also talking to you as, let's say, you're my potential customer. So I accept that as a professional, I've got to educate you as a customer because you're not going to understand, well, the nuances of detailing. Now, when it comes to cleaning and detailing, you start with, I need to do a pre-inspection. You need to come into your vehicle and say, oh, okay, let me assess. What kind of dirt am I looking at? What is the dirt level, material condition? For example, this is damage. You can't clean damage away. Now, in this situation, I'm not seeing anything that's screaming out alerts. No big heavy oil, no big liquid spills, no big food messes. It's just traditional dirt and due for some detailing. What I would be concerned with is, because this is the driver's seat, is this thing called drying time. So if there's any areas that will need excessive amounts of product used, then I'm going to accept, like, okay, that will be an area that I will go into first because it's going to require some additional drying time. They're not going to want to sit on a wet seat. So I would actually start with that. Now that I've done the initial inspection, then it's always going into the pre-vacuum, shampooing, mopping up, repeat, check your results. Now that I've done the pre-inspection, we just go through the standard steps of cleaning, which is pre-vacuum, pre-spot, shampoo, mop up, check your results, repeat as needed until you achieve desired results. What I will tell you is that when I'm vacuuming, I always keep my brushes with me. You got to remember, you want to pick up as much of the dry dirt and material before you introduce any type of liquid cleaner to it. Not only is that more effective, but you'll avoid making a big mess if you were to try to just come in hot with your cleaner immediately without vacuuming up the dry, loose material first. So this aids whether I'm vacuuming like this and I can just break stuff up, or it could be upholstery like this as I break it up. So let me get the vacuuming done and then we'll move forward. My next rule when I'm actually ready to clean after vacuuming is to start at the top and work my way down, which means if I was going to take you through this whole process, I would start at this area of the dashboard, work my way down. Never mind that I've already done the headliner. So start with the dash, top of the dash, all the instrument cluster, the vents, steering wheel, center console, instruments, come to the door panel, work my way down. There's many ways you can section off a car. What I want to just show you in this moment is me detailing out this entry point, because it is made up of a few materials. You got carpeting, hard plastic with a heavy texture. You get a lot of skid marks from feet, not too many here. Then you got a different type of plastic. It's black, got a heavy texture here. It's got some embossed or debossed areas. You've got a rubber gasket here, and then you've got the paint. So that represents a few cleaning challenges. These are probably my two tools that I use most frequently because they're going to do what I would call the heavy lifting. I love these because they conform to my hand and they conform the material, plus they can get into areas that this brush can't. I've got my Fabric Clean, which is Chemical Guys Fabric Clean, diluted 20:1, as you can see there. So I spray, and now I can scrub inside here, outside here, but maybe I want to take the brush here because it's got these little character lines here where the actual bristles will get into that tight little area as compared to this thing. So this is where having the right tools and the right tool for the right job is really important. So standard cleaning procedure, you go in with a light application, you scrub with whatever you're using, mop it up, check your results. If there's still dirt present, then you go back in for a repeat application until you've achieved desired results, and then you move on. You just break it down section by section by section. Now we have a hard metal This is metal. It even has some skid marks over here, which I know is ideal for my magic eraser to remove. So I treat that first, and now it probably won't show up on the camera, but there's a slight variation in color. It's not completely uniform because the magic eraser cleans in a very unique type of way. So what I will do is I will finesse it a little bit, the whole area, so that I can create a uniform appearance when I'm done cleaning the area. Perfect. Now we come into the threshold plate. Heavy texture on the top. I know I'm going to need some type of bristle to get in there to clean that textured area. Spray my brush. But this might also be where I reach for an abrasive scrub pad, because I know that this can take a lot of abuse from feet kicking it. And I also know the age of the van, the texture, and it's really just appropriate, meaning that if I use an abrasive scrub pad, I accept that I can wear down some of this texture, but that may be required, and that's the trade-off for getting a higher level of perfection, is that I may have to wear down some of this texture. Which is why it's important to understand the benefits, the limitations of your different tools and what they can and cannot do. Right here looks pretty clean. It's not perfect, but for this video moment, it's good enough. So I'm gonna move on to this area here, because this has not only a texture on the raised areas, but it's got this whole, what you would call a waffle pattern grid here. So this is gonna be kind of more of a challenge in that aspect. And I just picked the appropriate brush. These long bristles can really get down into this waffle grid pattern. And I come in, mop it up. I'm forcing my fingers and the microfiber cloth down into that grid pattern. Part of that pre-vacuum is I got inside this lip here, which I'm gonna force down with my fingers and make sure that it is 100% clean. Come with my microfiber cloth, run it along there. Now right here, I've got some excess buildup of dirt. I'm actually gonna reach for the abrasive pad here. In this area, it's pretty tight. A lot of the brushes won't fit in there, which is why I resort to a dusting brush here, so I can really get inside that little tiny crevice area right there and nail those details. Same with this little vent we got going on here. I can use these bristles to really get in there and clean that area. Now, and staying with our theme, from working from top down to bottom, now I've got the painted part of the entry, and this is perfect. I introduced the detailing world to the magic eraser like 100 years ago. See how quickly it took off those skid marks from feet kicking this plate as they get in and out. I'm sure someone out there thought, whoa, what about the floor mat? What are you gonna do about that? Well, if I was working professionally, I would put this floor mat outside of the van, as I've done, but I would lay it on a protective barrier, some kind of mat that would look more professional. It's my van, therefore I can decide, and I'm just gonna put it on the cement, which is mostly clean. I wash down my driveway on the weekly, so it's not really an issue. I'll let that dry 100%. Now I want to show you, this is very clean, but is there a way we can take it to one layer more of perfection? The answer is yes, and that's where I use some type of spray dressing. I'm a big fan of Stoner. It's more expensive, but it comes out in an ultra fine mist as compared to a thicker, messier mist. Now what I do is I keep a dedicated microfiber cloth that is only used to now finesse this, mop up any extra, but create a perfectly uniform appearance to this black material. And now I would say that yes, we just took this, as in I just took this to a higher level of aesthetic perfection. And this is how I store it in my little bucket jockey, because I know that this cloth is always reserved for that specific task alone, and it never gets commingled with other chemicals. And here we have the completed clean detail area. And honestly, in my world, I'd give this about a 7.5 out of 10. But for the sake of the video, I think it served its purpose. I finished by a post-vacuuming. Once you're cleaning, doing all your shampoo work, you've achieved your desired results. There's always going to be leftover debris, loose material that you've kicked up in the process of cleaning. You want to vacuum that up. And for a little context, this is my bucket jockey. This is how I have it organized. Inside are my main brushes, and around the peripheral is where I keep all my accessories, different types of brushes, scissors, little screwdrivers, magic eraser, detail brushes. Anyhow, really having the right tool for the job can make or break your world based on efficiency and effectiveness.